I would have made more assets than I have now, if you call what I have assets anyway. If you are a young man or young lady and you intend to make your life better in future, don't rush to get quick life. Don't try to rush yourself to be rich quick. Don't look ahead and see what your neighbor is having or what that person is having. Look at what you need. Look at your life from an aspect of getting safer later than getting poorer. If you are spending so much money when you're young and trying to show off now, you can be assured that unless you win a lottery or something, you are going to be poor in the end. So this is life, and life is so harsh, you'd wish you had never done it before. So saving your money has got many ways of advantages. There are disadvantages as well. When you put money in a bank, it doesn't earn that much interest. But if you think of other ways of earning money and you earn that money and put it aside in your savings account for a certain period, you can use that money to buy assets that can generate even more money for yourself. Life is about investing, and investing can be in many ways. If you think of a hustle job or a second job, and you think about your rent that you're paying now and it's too much or too high for you, try and find a cheaper place to live and only buy the food that you need and that you can afford. If you walk into a supermarket, you look at the simply loaves of bread in the shelf, you'll see that they differ in price, but they're still bread. There's a loaf of bread for over £1. There's a loaf of bread which is almost £0.5. So 50p and £1.50. There's a difference of £1. Instead of buying a loaf for £1.50, you buy the loaf for 50p and you save that pound. And if you go on all the groceries that you need with that ratio, you will save a lot of money that you can save for what we call a rainy day. It's not necessarily a rainy day, but it can be rainy. If you got fired and you've got no money, what do you do? Or if something happens and that needs a lot of money to be paid, what do you do? But if you've got some money set aside that you know you won't touch, that can give you assurance that you're going to do something meaningful, and you can react to any eventuality that comes along with it. It's what we call planning your life, planning your future. All young people must know that all the rich people out there, have made it because they do take attention, make extra attention to all the little details that you don't look at. Paying attention to the little items that you think are not important. Every aspect in your life is important. See where you live. See what you eat. See what transport you use to go to and from work. And see what clothes you wear. You can make a saving from all those areas. A place to live, you could share a room with another person, and you'll be paying half the rent that you're supposed to pay and save the rest. And the food, like I explained before, just like a loaf of bread, instead of buying the most expensive, you buy the cheapest that you can afford. On clothes, you can go to cheaper shops and buy quite good clothes that will look quite good when you're wearing and still be presentable. And the mode of transport to and from work, use public transport. But if you can and save a little more, you can even buy yourself a bicycle. A cycle is even more cheaper, it's much cheaper, and it actually keeps you fit as well. It is one of the cheapest means of transport that people can use. But in London, sometimes people are reluctant to use cycles because of the danger of being struck by vehicles. There are too many vehicles running about, and some people are not very careful when driving, and most cycles have lost their lives through traffic accidents. So for that reason, the next best thing is to use buses and walking. If your distance is short enough for you to walk, or long enough for you to walk and still have time to do it, then do it, walk. After all, walking keeps you fit. Driving a car can be pleasant, but it costs you money all the time. A car is pleasant to drive. When you're young, you might not understand that a car is an expensive item. It is not the best thing to start buying when you're young. So if you have money, or if you make money, or you earn quite a substantial sum of money, the first thing that you need to do is maybe get yourself accommodation, get yourself an asset like a house. If you can buy a house, then you can still use the house and get some people to rent, and you get more money. If you can manage to get a mortgage for a house with 3 bedrooms and so on, and you are single, you can use 1 bedroom and rent the other 2 bedrooms and have 2 other people to pay rent to you. So, and you only pay towards your mortgage. Whatever rent comes from these people and the little bit that you put on it can make you quickly pay off your mortgage. That is another way of quickly making assets. An asset like a building is a very important asset that will increase in value. Money kept in the bank for too long can also lose value, because as time goes, money loses value in a sense that in 10 years' time, even if you had £30,000 in the bank, it won't buy the same that you would buy now in 10 years. So the best thing is to make sure that you will make a build-up of cash to make sure you've got sufficient deposit for an asset. And there are many other ways of earning money. Get some passive income. Active income is where you get an extra job and do things. But if you can do something else that you can earn some money, even without working in 24 hours, then that is the best way to do it. And many people have made so much money that way. I wish I had known that when I was young, but I think there were less opportunities then. Maybe I missed them, but many are making passive income. You can write books, you can invest, make stock investments, and what we call affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is said to be one of the most appropriate way for young people to earn money. You don't have to use your own money. All you need is association with an organization and promote their products. Once those products are bought, you are assured of a little percentage of the cost or the price that is the item is sold. So that way you earn some income. But there are those really need for you to think. You need time. Time has always been said to be money. And you have to realize that surely time is money. You have to make sure you use every minute of your life to earn something. If you think that you will work on your 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life until you retire and make enough money to retire on, you got another thing waiting for you. You got another thinking to do. You don't do it that way. Even if you're going to get a pension, it won't be that much to sustain your life. It will be just enough to buy you food, but you still have to need accommodation and many other little utilities that you really need when you are old, and you need assistance to do this and that. That will cost a bit more money. So your pension might not be adequate to cover all those aspects of your life. So the best way is to make sure that you start working towards your retirement when you start working. And the issue of starting working must always have the fact that you are going to ensure prosperity throughout your life span. If you are going to start working at about 25, then that means if you need to retire at about 65, you need 40 years of working. During that 40 years, you need to have acquired some assets of your own, assets that will make sure that for the rest of your life you are well catered for. That is life. Anyway, this video was made after a lot of information that I've come across, and I just wanted young people to learn that life is not rushing to get rich. Life can be secure if you plan it carefully. Planning is the word. One day I'm going to make a video about planning and probably write a book about it. This was just a guidance for young people. I've got another video talking about the savings, but this one is meant to just brainstorm the idea of life in the beginning. Because when you're young, you yearn to drive that flashy car and they have flashy clothes, they have a fancy house or something like that. Don't live beyond your means. Buy only what you need. And remember, when your first check comes, budget it accordingly and make sure that you pay yourself first from your first check pay. Your first paycheck will guide you from what you're going to do, because you know you're going to pay rent, you're going to pay this, you're going to pay food, you're going to pay transport, and at the end of the day you got nothing left for yourself, yet you are the one person working for this. The first thing that you need to do is pay yourself first. Make sure that your first paycheck, you budget it in such a way that a portion of it is put aside, that is paying yourself. That is, you keep that money in a savings account. Like I said, that is where the money is going to be kept for you to make a decision later for further investment, to assure you that there is better security for yourself should anything happen during your working period. So starting sooner is better than later. The sooner you get this with you, start thinking about having your first paycheck and taking at least a portion, not less than 10%. It can be more than 10%. Put aside, and then the rest you can pay your bills and do everything else at least 10% or whatever has got to be saved in your savings account and never to be touched until it builds up to a certain amount for you, either to deposit a house. In most cases, like I said, young people have a tendency to want cars and many other property. Investment in property is the most important of all investments, because you are assured of income coming from property that you purchase. If you have a building in your name and it's generating enough money coming your way, that becomes passive money. That is passive income that you tend to earn throughout your life. So this is just an advice to young people to be careful about your initial part of your life. The early stages are the most dangerous. That's when you are distracted from real life problems. Peer pressure, because others are going to have flashy cars or better accommodation or better clothes. It does not mean that you are losing out. Just maintain your own standard of living. Live within your means. That's what I mean. live within your means. If you liked this video, please subscribe and remember to smash that button. Make sure that you don't miss the next video that I'm going to have for you, and you can be sure that there are going to be many. Thank you for watching.